Fair warning, fellow players, if you proceed past this point, I can only promise you pain, suffering, anger, annoyance and frustration in trying to play and complete Trigon's Space Story. With that out of the way, my name is Peter and let me tell you about many ways you will keep on losing and failing in this roguelike sci-fi spaceship adventure by the developers at Sernur.tech. Full disclosure, this gameplay is on Ironman and Hard mode, so no pause and only real-time battles against tough opponents, so I have set myself up to fail to start with. I hope that after watching and learning from my mistakes, wrong choices, missed clicks, hard hits of bad RNG and just outright bad luck, you will have an average of 1% chance of surviving in this truly difficult and infuriating game. Let us begin with a rookie mistake. After entering a new solar system, I chose to open up a box left by some random stranger found floating in space with the note, "Open me." Throwing all caution to the wind, I do open the box and after some RNG magic happens, I get a shiny new heavy plasma cannon. Going to the Match tab, then the cargo hold and inspecting this weapon, I decide to equip it on the account that it has 3 times more damage and penetration than my default weapon. Because of the higher power drain, I also removed my rocket launcher to install this plasma cannon. Such a bad call in retrospect. In the next system I visit, I choose to track some signal instead of just flying away and I get ambushed for my trouble. My first target is the enemy ship's shield subsystem and my first shot is a miss. The enemy fires with 2 energy weapons and not only do my shields go down, but the whole subsystem takes a lot of damage. Now as the fight goes on, my main weapon does take down the enemy's shields and I even score some hull damage. But as soon as I take some damage to my weapon system, which has only 3 energy slots, my main weapon goes offline because it needs all 3 to operate. As my engineer struggles to fix the damage, my shield subsystem is completely dismantled by the enemy's energy weapon volley. At this point, my weapons are fixed, but in my annoyance, I forget to power back the weapons subsystem. I even send my engineer to fix the shields, but that is a pointless action, as the damage is coming in faster than it can be repaired. I continue to fire once the weapon system is back to full power, but my shots are too far apart and reload too slow, so my ship keeps getting damaged and even having 300 HP to start with ends up not being enough. My last act of defiance is destroying the enemy ship with my last shot just as my own ship explodes. So what have we learned from this? First, energy weapons deal damage to shields before the hull, and no matter how low those shields are, the whole damage of the shot is expended on the shields. Second, using a weapon which only has 1 shot per volley with a slow reload means almost never hitting the enemy's ship hull because their shields recharge between the shots. My second hard-learned lesson is about getting boarded by pirates. They do not have very powerful ships, but they do have lots of crew, weapons, and most importantly, don't mind getting personal with you. Here I was cruising around taking down authority drones left and right when I got ambushed by these unsavory characters. In the middle of their trash can of a ship, they have a teleporter, and once a pirate crew steps on it and it's fully charged, an elite boarding party teleports over. They attack the subsystem for door control first, so they can move freely across my ship and then target the shields and weapon subsystems. At this point, you can choose to keep your station and try to destroy the enemy ship as soon as possible, ending the encounter, or abandon stations and swarm the pirates to deal maximum damage. Best place to fight them is the infirmary, as there you can heal while you fight, and by packing the room full with your crew, you can fight the pirates one by one. Sadly, a fight can take a while against high-level melee fighters who take little damage, and by the time you have defeated the enemy boarding party, your ship is shot to pieces. With most subsystems offline, there isn't enough time to repair the ship before total destruction. How can you prevent this from happening to you? Well, by targeting enemy's ship's teleport subsystem as soon as the battle starts, and keep blasting them every time the enemy crew fixes them. This is where shield ignoring rockets and bombs come in handy the most. Now let me show you how this situation can be even worse. I kid you not. In this example, it is the damn pirates again, but since we learned from the previous situation, we now take down their teleporter with the opening shot of our rocket launcher. Unfortunately, while the pirates work on repairing the damaged subsystem, my energy weapons are not good enough to bring both down their shields and deal system damage. The second rocket misses due to RNG Gods, and now the angry looking insectoid alien teleports over. This time, he goes after my ship's oxygen generator, and I counter with a crewman and a robot which can heal him in combat. Problem is, my crew member deals far less damage as he is just a hyperdrive operator and not a trained, bloodthirsty insectoid alien with sharp claws and teeth. So now I send in my captain while the other crew member heals in the infirmary. The bot gets axed and the insectoid only gets the encouraged perk and deals even more damage, so I decide to double up on him. But here is where things get really wild. As the pirates pull their crew member back using the teleporter, my captain gets pulled to their ship along with him. Alone and outmatched, I start to run around the enemy's ship trying to come up with something. So now not only is my ship shot to shit and my bot destroyed, but my captain is playing cat and mouse with the killer aliens on their ship. Unfortunately, this is a no-win scenario, as destroying the enemy ship would kill my captain, who is hunted down and killed in melee anyway. So what is the lesson here? In essence, it is: don't give a retreating pirate a hug for goodbye, or you will take a one-way trip to Teeth and Claw Central. And especially don't do it with your captain character. Instant game over. Next up is a double learning opportunity using two similar scenarios. These are basically mistakes in choices which you can easily make, but the consequences are disastrous. First of these is choosing to attack a prisoner plant instead of just picking up a prisoner for transport. Not only do the prison guards have a ship on standby, but it is also a very tough ship with lots of HP, triple weapon systems, and a highly upgraded hyperdrive system for added evasion chances. I put up a valiant effort, but get blown up faster than my hyperdrive can recharge and allow me to escape. Second example is a choice of attacking an alien colony instead of transporting some ashes. Not only are their shields much higher than my own, but I was out of rockets as well, so my main weapons didn't even have a chance at dealing with the enemy ship. The lessons are clear here. Don't start fights you cannot finish, and definitely don't start them when not fully armed. Noted, these battles took place in the starting sector, but you should not expect enemy ships in the next sectors to be weaker, only stronger. I now just want to tell you that making this video took 6,789 clicks, so I would appreciate it if you could expend a click or two in the general area of that thumbs up button, but if you hit the subscribe button, that is totally cool too. And in case my horror stories have discouraged you from even playing Trigon Space Story, here is a list of other games you might like linked up here and below in the description. Before the ultimate lesson on hardships in this game, let me tell you two others you can more easily avoid learning the hard way. This one might be a bit obvious, but it warrants saying anyway. Do not keep on moving into dangerous solar systems with low hull HP. Sure, you might want to clear just that one more star system before going back to the space station for repairs and rearming, or you might just be overconfident due to previous victories. But you simply cannot rely on the RNG Gods to be favorable to you in your hour of need. Even having a large and skilled crew with lots of missiles in your inventory, you can easily run into an enemy ship which can blast your 1/3 of hull HP to bits and you along with it, especially if their captain has powerful active skills. Another example of a bad weapon combo is our next lesson. Here I scored a nice rare heavy EMP blaster with massive shield and low EMP damage. EMP damage is the kind done to ship subsystems, disabling 1 bar of power when it hits them. So in the next fight, my every successful shot either takes down the enemy's ship's shields or disables 1 bar of power from the subsystem I target. This, while it might seem great, doesn't really do anything, as my other weapon is a rocket launcher whose rockets ignore shields in the first place. Those rockets, curse the RNG gods, miss almost every single time, so I basically end up not dealing any damage whatsoever to the enemy ship. I started the fight with almost full ship HP of 300 and lost to a ship whose HP I damaged by just 20 points. The takeaway: match your weapon's damage potential to work together versus enemy shields and hull, not separately. And so we come to the last and possibly hardest lesson to swallow in Trigon's space story. As you progress in the main missions, you can never know what awaits you in the next one. So when you finally reach a new mission, you cannot know what kind of a fight you are flying into. Here I was just chatting with some NPC in my third main story mission, and he turns out to be a crazy person who opens fire with superior guns on my ship. I didn't bring any expensive and powerful missiles I could have brought at the local space station, so my puny firepower was not up to the task. I did play this mission in a previous version of the game, and I even knew the fight was coming, but hoped my weapons would be enough. I was wrong, then I was dead wrong, and in the end, just dead. The lesson of this situation is to approach every story mission with the most powerful missile in your launcher, crew healed up, ship repaired, and lots of patience. For more tips, advice and gameplay about Trigon Space Story, please stay tuned in. If you need any help, ask me in the comments, where I invite everyone to leave their own tips for other players, and also let me know what other similar games you have enjoyed in the past. Thank you for watching and happy gaming!